In his lavish office, Count Goethe Moan sat alone, a man drowning in self-importance. He sipped his coffee, proclaiming it the busy gentleman's greatest ally. He proudly surveyed the mountain of documents that proved his corruption. The Count stood, already planning how to demand a promotion for his treachery. For a man so adept at deceit, he was remarkably blind to the knife already at his back. A faint sound made him turn from his desk. A subordinate appeared, as if from thin air, presenting another stack of papers. The man suddenly collapsed mid-sentence, his request for coffee left hanging. His body crashed dramatically onto the expensive rug. The Count stared dumbly as incriminating evidence fluttered around him. He gaped at the fresh corpse now decorating his floor. Panic finally set in, and he shrieked, "Who did this? Or could it be the Nightblades?" A blood-soaked clown materialized from the deepest shadows of the room. The clown's painted grin dripped with something far thicker than paint. The Count trembled, his voice cracking as he demanded, "Who are you?" The silent killer simply raised a finger to its lips. Silence. In a pathetic show of defiance, the Count grabbed a decorative sword from the wall. He charged forward, foolishly boasting of his long-forgotten academy skills. A single playing card sliced through the air and embedded itself squarely in his forehead. The great Goethe Moan fell, spectacularly defeated by a piece of paper. It was a classic case of bringing a butter knife to an atomic bomb fight. The clown calmly shuffled its deck over the body. It turned and walked away, announcing coolly to the empty room, "The first one down." Elsewhere, the painfully earnest Christina Hope read of the legal farce. She slammed the report down, enraged by the world's injustice. How can they accept such a ridiculous claim? She correctly, if impotently, blamed the corrupt Count Moan for the cover-up. Later, in the Academy halls, she lamented her powerlessness to her friends. Her friend Kanade listened, horrified that their testimonies had been erased. She remembered the friends she lost to the murderous Elisa Darkacon. Her grief was palpable as she wished for simple, legal justice. Then, in a magnificent display of emotional whiplash, her sorrow curdled into pure rage. "No, to hell with that! I just want her to suffer horribly!" Christina watched her friend's sudden foul-mouthed outburst with mild surprise. She returned to her desk, wishing for the power to punish evil herself. Her eyes fell upon a drawing of a cloaked figure, the only one she believed could. Just like Shadow. She recalled the mysterious hero, a man she imagined was burdened by a great and terrible destiny. She admired his willingness to walk a path she could only dream of. Her father then burst into the room, shattering her heroic daydreams with his panic. He clutched his head, complaining of the endless trouble they were in. He finally delivered the news. Count Moan had been brutally murdered. Christina immediately rushed to the Count's now quarantined mansion. A lone knight struggled to hold back the morbidly curious crowd. She spotted Princess Alexia, who had naturally beaten her to the scene. Alexia, ever the drama queen, offered to show her the gruesome details. She gave a theatrical warning that it was an incredibly grotesque sight. They followed the bloody footprints of a killer who clearly took his sweet time. Alexia revealed the absurd murder weapon, a single playing card from Mitsugoshi Trading. Christina gagged at the sight of the Count's paper-based lobotomy. She pondered the bizarre, almost artistic cruelty of the method. Alexia lectured on the incredible mana control required for such a feat. The killer's motive, however, remained a complete mystery. Christina theorized that the murder itself was a message. Alexia quickly connected the dots to someone wanting to silence the Count. She wisely cautioned that even the knights couldn't be trusted. On cue, the smirking Chief Inspector Gray made his grand entrance. Alexia immediately grilled him for information on witnesses. The chief confirmed he had a description of the perpetrator. He leaned in, revealing the killer was described as a clown drenched in blood. The chief began weaving a profile based on pure, unadulterated speculation. He pointed dramatically, spinning a tale of hired assassins and grudges. He then brazenly accused Christina of being the prime suspect. The chief's dedication to being an absolute troll was truly something to behold. Alexia furiously rejected his simple-minded theory, insisting there must be something else, some important message. The chief burst out laughing, admitting he was just messing with them. He then mercilessly teased Alexia about her detective novel obsession. Alexia vehemently denied reading the vile vixen's books. She then flawlessly executed a famous detective pose, completely undermining her denial. The chief sobered up just long enough to advise Christina to be careful. He warned her that the Nightblades might already be watching her. After he left, Alexia grumbled about the rude man and the burdens of royalty. Christina grimly accepted the fact that they were now official targets. Her foot nearly crushed a shattered, blood-stained teacup on the floor. She suddenly asked Alexia if anything had been removed from the scene. Christina pointed to a series of unnatural stains on the carpet. In a moment of shared insight, they realized a piece of paper had been stolen. Alexia, completely re-energized, declared their hunt for clues must continue. She struck her signature pose again, shouting, "Because there is always only one truth." Back at the academy, the investigation continued in an empty classroom. Kanade was, predictably, having a complete meltdown. "Why could there be people coming after me?" Christina attempted to summarize the situation to her panicking friend. She explained how Count Goethe had been systematically erasing their evidence. His murder, ironically, had made their legal case much stronger. She grimly concluded that this made them the next logical targets for elimination. The powerful and ruthless 13 Nightblades would surely be sent after them. Christina proposed the brilliant idea that they should all stick together for safety. A sudden rattle from the back of the room startled them both. Sid Kagano emerged, offering a pathetic apology for his own existence. He tried to scurry away, insisting his terrified shriek was nothing. Sid's performance as a forgettable background character was, as always, flawless. Christina, however, recognized him as her friend Claire's unremarkable little brother. She refused to believe his scream was over nothing. Sid reluctantly presented the blood-stained papers he found. He explained with perfectly feigned curiosity how he had simply picked them up. Christina stared in absolute shock at the documents. She realized with a jolt that these were the very papers stolen from the murder scene. She furiously demanded to know why they were conveniently next to his table. Sid masterfully deflected by pointing out something written on the back. Christina flipped the page over in surprise. A name was scrawled in what was clearly blood. Jack the Ripper? Sid played magnificently dumb when she asked who that was. He then planted the idea that someone wanted her to find the documents. Seeing his work was done, he tried to make a tactical retreat, but Christina's hand shot out and grabbed him. "No, you don't." She declared that by simply touching the papers, he was now irrevocably involved. She dragged the deeply annoyed Sid along, citing his poor class ranking as proof he couldn't protect himself. Christina beamed, announcing her grand, unsolicited plan for their protection. She cheerfully informed Sid and Kanade that they would all be living together until the danger passed. And so, the Eminence in Shadow found himself trapped in a teen drama. His grand schemes once again derailed by the very people he was trying to manipulate.